Hello, good afternoon. Nice to be back on Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Start to the weekend for some. And this is Coffee and a Card. I usually do on Friday mornings, as you know, but today was the third Friday of the month, and every third Friday I do a live event at a coffee shop in the next town over from me. So it's maybe three miles from me. So that's nice. We meet there and we do some cards for troops. And I'm going to share, once we have a few more people on, I'll share some of the cards that we did. And one of the layouts that we did is what I'm going to show you today. Very simple way to use some of your designer series paper, show off the patterns, and in fact, my friend Maria is in love with this layout. So Maria, if you see this, shout out to you, because I know you can attest that this makes a really nice card very easily and shows off that beautiful paper and cardstock. It's all coordinating, right? Hello, Crystal. Nice to see you. So by the way, Crystal, I mailed out your raffle prize. Okay, finally got around to it. I had a bunch of things I wanted to get out to the post office at the same time. So that went out yesterday. So watch for it in the mail in a couple days, okay? All right. Glad you got on live too. All right, maybe this is a better time for you. I don't know. But when I can't do 10 o'clock on Fridays, I'm going to mix up the time just so different people have an opportunity to do live. All right. You're very welcome, Crystal. Okay. I hope you like that. So anyway, so we'll wait just a couple minutes for people to come on. Don't forget to leave a comment and say hello. That way you get entered into the next raffle. All right. So just leave a message, say hello, tell us where you're from. Like to see, who's gathering together. It's kind of fun. I know one of somebody who joins on a lot, Isabel from South Africa. So she's our farthest watcher. She joins on in the morning sometimes. I'm not sure of the time change right now, but it's fun. We get people from Europe sometimes. If we do it in the morning, then unfortunately it's really late at night for them, or my friend from Australia, too late for her to be doing that. So anyway, I'll mix it up so that different people can join on live, because I know a lot of people do like the live. You can always catch the replay. I leave it on Facebook. I also upload it to YouTube. So hopefully you can catch it one way or another. But if you like to be able to talk and chat back and forth and give some feedback, then yeah, join the live. All right. Hello, Marjorie. Good to see you again. Oh, it's a beautiful day. They are great. Glad to hear it. It's been pretty nice here too. Yesterday was just gorgeous. Today we had a little chance of rain, so once in a while we get a sprinkle, and but otherwise not bad. Right now it's sunny. Okay, I like my room because I have a couple big windows over here, and you can probably see there's some light coming in, so I get a lot of nice natural light, which is good for your projects. And I just love being able to look out. Okay, I look out across the street. There's little green area with some trees, and people walk their dogs, or just the kids play, or it looks nice. I like seeing the flowering trees and the greenery now, and in the fall, it's beautiful colors, and I can see people walking by. I call it my little perch because I'm sitting up high. I'm on the second floor here. So, oh, Annette, my love, good to see you. Hi, Nadine. Oh, look at all these fun people joining on. Glad you joined on. All righty. So DSP is still on sale, 15% off till the end of the month. And it's a good deal. You can save a couple bucks. It's normally $12 and it's on sale for like $10.62. Okay, not all of it, but a lot of it is on sale. So grab it up before while you can and get a little savings on that. Alrighty. I'm going to show you a quick, simple little card. Nadine, you know this layout. You've used it. And I just mentioned that Maria, our friend Maria, loves doing this one. She's done a lot of cards with this layout, and just so quick and easy and looks nice. So I wanted to first share, let me just recap a little bit from last week. We did a one-sheet wonder, right? And I showed you how to get 5 cards from a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. All right. Oh, and that, okay, you can shop. And that's not a stamper, but she likes buying my cards. Yeah, and I appreciate that. Hi, Lois. Good to see you, too. All right. So our one sheet wonder last time, I showed you with the Countryside Inn designer series paper. And then I kind of laid out some of the designs, that same pattern with the inked, what's it called? Inked Botanicals. Okay, Inked Botanicals, this paper here, right? And I didn't finish them in front of you, but I'm going to show you the finished cards now. And I'm going to just turn my camera around, doing this manually again, until I work out the kinks from the other program. I don't want to be fussing around again. So hold on one second while I flip this around. Okay. There we go, quick and easy, a little wiggling, and we're done. All right, sorry about that. So these are the ones we did last time, the One Sheet Wonder, using one of my favorite new sets for these fonts. I'm sorry if I end up using this too much for your taste, but I just think they're perfect. I love the style of the font. I love the, what they say. It pretty much covers everything. It doesn't specifically say happy birthday, but some of these could be used for birthday. Best wishes on your birthday. So happy to celebrate you. That could be birthday. All right. And I do have plenty of other happy birthday sets around, so that it's not a problem. So all these pieces came from a 6x6 piece of cardstock. I mean, DSP. So I'm going to show you the ones I end up doing with the Inked Botanicals. And I kept them a little bit more simple. These are nice, rich colors, and I love those patterns. And I added some of the rhinestones on there to give it a little bling, which I love. And I just love the blue. Blue's my favorite color. And some of my girls love blue too. So doing these, I didn't put any embellishments on. I just kind of kept them a little plain. And some of these might go to the troops. So we don't want them, we can't have anything shiny or foil or whatever. So these are the ones I did. Let me compare them a little bit side by side with the equivalent pieces, let's say. All right, let me put them aside here. So you can lay them out in different ways, right? You don't have to do them any one way. And in fact, Nadine posted on the Facebook page, check it out. She did this One Sheet Wonder as well. And, you know, some of her pieces are a little in different positions than what I originally showed. So it doesn't mean you have to do them a certain way. Mix it up a little bit. So here are the same two pieces, just in a different orientation. Instead of punching these, I did a little stamping right on the background and then laid these on top and put my little ribbon over there. Again, keeping these a little bit different style. All right. So those are the comparable pieces there. And then I should have had these all in order. All right, here we go. So here are the comparable pieces as well. Oops, I need to put that down with the glue dot. All right. And again, so just similar layout. Instead of putting this vertically, I did it horizontally, added my sentiment and keeping it just a little simple, the ribbon in a little bit different place and different tie. Okay, just a little knot there. Okay, and then here's one. I had a little trouble, I have to confess. I had a little trouble designing this particular card with these pieces because there was a definite up and down to these. And I loved how these were on a diagonal. And with this pattern, it was random enough that I could do that. But these I couldn't. And I was just having a little trouble trying to figure out how I was going to orient that. But then I came up with this, and I'm fine with it. So I stamped this in the background to take up some of the space. Otherwise, I felt it was too plain. This has a nice rich pattern to it. And the dark strip here, this was a little, I don't know, just a little too plain for me. It didn't have enough interest. So instead, this is kind of secondary, and we have the stamp here that coordinates with the stamp set that coordinates with the paper. All right, so that's how I did that one. And then we have, of course, the simplest of them all, just the 3x3 square. That one's pretty straightforward. Put your ribbon or your twine any direction, and put your little sentiment down there too. All right, just keep these very plain and simple. This is the Calypso Coral card base, and this one I thought also was rather plain. Okay, again, this is very light color and it's very pretty, but very delicate. So it just wasn't enough pop for me. So what I ended up doing was I took another layer. Instead of just building it on my second layer here, I took another layer, picked up on the Lost Lagoon, and made another layer of vanilla where I could do my little strips on there and then stamp as well. So elaborate on it, play around with it, see what's good, and add something or take away something, turn it around, whatever. So you have the basic concept, the basic pieces. It's kind of like having furniture in your house. Move it around this way, add something of interest, a vase on the table or whatever, just find ways to make it work for you. All right, with the same basic elements. So I hope you like those, and I hope you try some, because I gave the measurements on the Facebook page, and a lot of people have been appreciative of that. So I hope you're able to use that. Okay, so today, cards for troops. Real quickly before we get to our card for the day. We made almost over 70 cards. There were 4 attendees and myself. That was 5. Last time we had 9 people coming, and hopefully next week it works out for other people. Different people can come different months, but it's fun. So this one, let me just tell you how I did that. I used the Forever Fern set, which is no longer available, unfortunately, but the fern embossing folder that coordinated with this, somewhat is still available. Anyway, I did a little square of crumb cake in the background, not with a stamp, but with my block. I just put a little ink on the block itself with crumb cake, stamped it off very lightly, and then put it on the card stock, and then we have that little background there. And then we stamped a couple of the twigs on there, and these are retiring colors. I like to use up my retired stuff when I'm sending mass cards out, like for the troops, so that, because I'm not going to be using them in my regular business, because I don't want it to be a tease. I don't want you to say, oh, I love that color. I'm going to say, sorry, you can't get it. But anyway, so this is Just Jade, and this is Evening Evergreen. All right, and then a simple popped up hello. I use these from my 1/2-inch strips that I had left over, stamped hello across the whole thing, and just cut them at an angle or cut them straight and pop that up on a dimensional dot. And you've got a very quick, easy, simple card, and something that some of the deployed servicemen and women might just send a hello card to somebody. It's pretty generic. It can go, hello, happy birthday, hello, I miss you, hello, just saying hello, whatever. All right, so we made a whole bunch of those. We made about 30 of those. And then this is a card I did a long time ago. This is a set that is now retired also, Amazing Silhouettes. I've made cards with all of these. This is one of those that are really quick and easy. You don't have to have a lot, just that one stamp, and you've got a quick, easy card. Card base, a layer, little sentiment, and you're done. You can put a couple of embellishments on there, and you're good to go. So I had some leftover embellishments from another pack. They were different colors. So we said, you know what? They work. Now this one is a little bit more gray. This one's vanilla. It's okay. So we made 2 dozen of those. And now here's the layout that we're going to do today. Again, I used leftover designer series paper that's now retired, but I loved it. It was had daisies on there. I think somebody, one of my girls used that paper recently. I forget who. But, oh, hi, Patty. I'm sorry, I can't always look up at the comments. But anyway, so I just noticed that you were on. All right, so I used that and used... we're going to do a strip of designer paper down this way, a strip this way. You put a strip of white across with your sentiment. You can fill the whole white with a large sentiment, or you can have a medium-sized one with a little something on the side. You can stamp, you can do a punch or a die cut for a little piece of interest over there. So this is such a quick, easy, but pretty way to use your paper and just feature the paper, right? So these were... obviously the same designer series paper. I just want to show you this little hint. Okay, this is the medium daisy punch. I'm thinking it's not available anymore, but I loved my daisy punches. I took a sponge dauber, right, one of these, inked up a little bit of Calypso Coral, and just dotted that to get a little bit of contrast in the center of the flower. If you didn't like it quite so big, or here's another little, I'll call it a hack, I guess, although I'm not terribly fond of that word. Use a pencil eraser as your stamp, so to speak. Make sure it's a new eraser, it's flat, and you can just dip that in your ink, press it onto something where you want a little dot. So that one gave me just that little dot, a smaller dot in the middle of the flower. You can even do that as like dots, make a background on your paper. All right. But make sure that it is flat so that you get a nice even coverage and you get that circle there. So there's a cute little idea. I keep this pencil unsharpened, so I know not to use it for anything else. I keep it right here with my tools next to my workspace. So those are a couple things, a couple fun things that you can do. Of course, you can bump it up. You can put some kind of gem or rhinestone in the center. You can put a couple gems here. We're keeping them kind of simple because they are going to the troops. We don't want bulk, and we can't have anything shiny or blingy, whatever. I guess, kind of for security purposes. So, if they're in a place where they don't want to get called attention to, that could be the reason. So there we go. So I took my sheets of the designer series paper, and let me show you how this all works out. You can kind of call this a one sheet wonder too, if you want. You have your 12 by 12 sheet, right? And this strip here is 2.5 inches wide. So if you start cutting your strips, 2.5 inches wide, 2 of them is going to be 5. 3 of them will be 7.5, right? And then you'll get to, oh, wait a minute, this one isn't 10. Oh, I cut a piece off of that already. I was saying, why is this not quite so right? Okay, there you go. So you're going to get 4 strips, right? 2.5 inches wide each will get you 4 strips and take you to 10 inches. Then you'll have 2 inches left over. So with that 2 inches left, you can play around and do some other things with that strip. So it's going to be pretty efficient the way you work those out there. Okay, so let me see. All right, so we have 2.5 inches here, and it's on a layer that's 5 1/4, your typical size layer, 5 1/4 by 4. And so your length is going to be 5 1/4. You're going to go all the way to the top and the bottom. And then across this way, you're going to go all the way to either side of the layer, the cardstock layer, and that's going to be 4. So 2.5 by 4. This one now, the white is also 4. That's easy to remember. And you are just at 2 inches instead of 2.5. And that's going to give you the extra 1/4 inch over here and here. All right, so let's say if you wanted to even conserve paper a little bit more, you don't need to have a whole sheet of this underneath. It's kind of good because it will support the white paper that's on top. you won't see or feel any gaps in between. But the designer paper is pretty thin, so it's not going to be as noticeable as if you had cardstock or even ribbon. I did one with ribbon, and there was a little bit of a kind of like a sag in the middle that seemed a little lower and seemed higher on the edges. But again, we're our worst critics, right? So it's kind of up to you what you want to do. So once I cut these, and I had that leftover, I was left with a square now that was, well, not quite a square. It was a little off. It was actually 2.5 by 2 3/4. All right. So it's a little more of a rectangle. So I said, all right, let's just put that on a card. Put the same 2 by 4 inches sentiment across the way. Put the same daisy on there, and it's just a plain, simple card. Now, think of ways. This is a little quiz, guys. All right, the teacher and me will come out. A little quiz. You have this plain, simple card. It's beautiful, right? Of course, you can add some embellishments. We already talked about that. If you wanted to kick it up a notch, think about what you can do, okay, to make it even a little bit more fancy, a little bit more finish. I mean, it's perfectly fine the way it is, a cute little note card, but some things that you can do. Any suggestions or ideas? You want to try to guess what I'm going to say? Let's see if you come up with an idea while I show you. Okay, here's another one in the old olive. All right. So just taking the scrap, the leftover of here onto here, right? Okay, Nadine, yes, you can emboss the solid layer. Absolutely. That'll give it interest and give it, that texture, which will bump up the card a little bit. Won't look quite so plain. So that's a great idea, Nadine. Yep. Any other suggestions? Any other thoughts? I'll show you. There's another pattern here that we did. We'll add the daisies later. We didn't get to do them all. Okay, you can always do a tone-on-tone stamping on the back, on the layer, right? You can take the old olive or a lighter color, and you can just do a light pattern in the background, again, to bring some interest so it doesn't look quite so plain. All right, another thing you can do is you can create contrasting matte to frame each of these pieces. All right, so I will kind of do one of those and show you the difference. I'll put it on the Facebook page so that you can see that. Okay, you can ink the edges. Okay, yeah, you can take a sponge or your dauber and just kind of add a little color to the edges to frame it a little bit. Yep, that's a great idea too. Yeah, so instead of having a flower here, or in addition to add the flower, you can add a ribbon. I like that idea too. Let me, here's one that I have here. Okay, good segue. Thank you. Versamark, the stamp background. Yes. Yeah, so instead of tone on tone, you can use Versamark to stamp the background. See, you guys have great ideas. Awesome. So here's one that uses the ribbon instead of a flower or a die cut or a punch. You can do anything that's going to coordinate with your paper here. So I did a little ribbon, just tied a knot. Okay, didn't even fuss with a bow, just a little knot there, and that looks pretty too, right? Okay, so let me show you. All right, so you guys had some great ideas on that. So different ways to bump it up. Frame it. Okay, mat it again. And you'll have more layers, yes. I wanted to keep it simple, but I think for my liking, I might have, put maybe some black layers around here or a darker green or maybe the coral, and then layer my sentiment piece as well. So just to give it a little bit more finished look. But again, I'm looking to create a lot of cards with the girls who attended, and if we keep them simple, we can get a lot more done. So like I said, 5 of us did about 70 cards today. Some of them we just need to put the flowers on, but it's all good. So here's that same pattern of that same layout again. The 2.5, let me just double check. Yep, 2.5 wide by 5 1/4 tall. And this is 2.5 wide by 4. So the measurements are easy to remember. the width of your layer and the height of your layer. You're going right up to the top and over to the sides. Okay, and then 2 by 4 here. Oop, there's a little adhesive there, a little sticky. Let me get my little gummy eraser and pull that off. Oh, I wish Stampin' Up! Sold these again. You can get them at the craft store, but I don't know what I'd do without this, you know, especially when you have a lot of people stamping or people who aren't used to doing it, or just even us avid stampers. You know, we get a little sticky sometimes, right? Okay. How many layers, Annette? Okay. Good question. It's not so much the layers of the cardstock and the paper. The designer series paper is thinner. Cardstock is a little heavier. So I don't think I've actually come across, I don't think I've ever put too many layers of the paper that had me pay extra postage, but it would be maybe the embellishments, this, or some of the adhesive back stones or whatever that might poke through or add a little bit more bulk to the card. Or if you do too many layers with the foam dots that pop it up even more. So I don't think anybody would create a card that would have too many flat layers. That it wouldn't take a regular postage. But like I said, it's the other embellishments that could bump it up a little bit. This should be fine, just this little knot here, especially if you keep it flat. So good question, though. Thanks for asking. All righty. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks, Gail. That was a great idea. Ink up the edges. Take like a sponge. You could do that. And just, or you can even sometimes just drag it across your ink pad to get that little bit of color around the outside. So that's definitely helpful. All right, so here's another version of that same card using just different patterns of the Countryside Inn. Who doesn't love that paper, right? I don't know, just gorgeous. I'm going to be using it on my bingo game. So I'm going to show you even more options for how to use it and how to use the dies. So if you're interested, go to my blog, check out what we're going to do for bingo night. It's going to be fun. We're going to do like 3 or 4 games of bingo. There'll be some prizes that you can get, free Stampin' Up! Prizes. You can get gift certificates toward anything you want from the catalog. Okay? $15, $30, $50, maybe more if we have enough people. Or the more people that play, the higher the cash prizes could go, right? So let's come on and play, and I have some other offers up there too. So go to stampwithlorraine.com and you can read about the bingo. Anybody can play. All right, so here's some other options using the same layout. All righty, now these actually, I cut strips. You can have 1/2-inch strips and just put them underneath to make the edges there. You don't have to go all the way through, like I said. All right, this one uses the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper. Love it. Party, party, party. That's what this paper screams. All right, lots of stars and dots, and good for adults and or kids, whatever. But lots of fun, bright colors. So you can mix and match a lot of those together. And that matches up with the beautiful balloons stamp set. Stamp those balloons, die cut them out with the coordinating dies, and pop them up right there. So these, obviously, I just used the sentiments. Didn't need to have something on the side, like a ribbon or a flower or the balloons. So just use the sentiments. This is, again, I love this one as a go-to. It's called Biggest Wish. And you have happy birthday, you have thank you. It's a very versatile stamp set. You can use it for a lot of things. Okay, so not a complicated layout. I'm just going to make another 1 or 2 with you right here now. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Patty. Yeah, easy and simple, but nice looking, right? They don't, they still look nice and finished. My raffle winner from last time, Judy. Congratulations, Judy. I have a nice pack of some DSP for you. And actually, I'm going to see Judy on Monday, so I will hand deliver that to you. Alrighty. So congratulations, Judy. Woo! Clap, clap, clap. All right. So I hope she likes that. Don't forget, if you are placing an order that is under $150, please use the host code. And that kind of helps me out. If your order is $150 or more before tax and shipping, do not use the host code because you are going to qualify for host rewards starting at 10%. So if you use the host code, it's not going to calculate. So don't use the host code if it's over $150 or $150 or more. Starting at $150, you can get those rewards. So that will get you at least another $15 item. So right, pack of DSP, another stamp set, whatever. So it's a good deal. Alrighty, so enough of that housekeeping. All right, here's another one of those cards that I did with I love this paper. It's 6x6, so unfortunately I'm not as, what should I say, not as efficient in how many cards I can get of this style out of a sheet, because I'm going to be left with some smaller scraps and whatnot. But I don't know, we do what we can. I'm more of a fan of the 12x12s because even if I do a layer of the 6x6, then you're left with smaller pieces. And if you want another layer, then now you have to start another card. But you could still use up the extra pieces and whatever. I want to just point out that, and I put in the post that I made before the video, you can have any color base or layer as long as it coordinates with your DSP. So this one, I had a colored base with a white layer. This one, I have the white base with the colored layer. Works either way. Just see what looks best for what you want to do. Okay, these are the white base with the colored layer. This one, no white. Oops. Well, I have to put glue that down right there. Two different color cardstocks because there was a lot of white on this already. And of course, this is white. So I want to keep these, the backgrounds, colored. I want to point out on this one too. This one is actually ribbon. All right. So I took a piece of ribbon, and this is the one that I was kind of saying, if you look closely, or if you were a card maker and you notice, you might see that it's kind of thick on the sides and it kind of sags a little bit in the middle. Okay, if most people will probably not notice, but if I were to do this again, just for my type A, to be good there, I might take some glue dots, some of the mini glue dots, and build this up a little bit across the middle. Put one on either end and maybe one or two in the middle. And that would give a little bit more height so that it would seem a little bit more flat. But you know what, guys? Most people aren't going to notice. They're going to say, oh, what a pretty looking card, right? So sometimes don't overthink yourself. All right, let's make a quick card. Again, it's not rocket science here, but I just want to show you what it looks like. Okay. All right. What white paper did you use on the dark card base? I'm not sure what you mean. I just used regular white cardstock, gal. Oh, on this, are you talking about the designer series paper? This is an older one. I don't remember. Actually, no. It's, I forget what that one was from. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember where that was. I'll get back to you on that. If anybody else finds it, let me know. Okay, put it in the comments. All right, I'm forgetting. But it probably was a one that's retired now because these colors are also retired. So I think I made this one before the new catalog came out, or just with older things. All right. Speaking of the blues, love boho blue. Okay, these papers, these designs, like I said, were 6x6, and if you look in the catalog, you can get these patterns, you have hearts on one side, little lines, you have large diagonals, and you have polka dots. You can get these patterns in the in colors, either of the in colors, or any of the color families. All right, so, or is it, yeah, so Stampin' Up! Each year has a different pattern of the 6x6 colors that you can get in the different families, different colors. So this is the pattern for this year. All right. So this is Pebble Path. I'm going to put that aside for a minute, and we're going to just make a quick card here. So we have the card base, right? I'm going to just burnish that. Now, of course, you can have a card that folds on the top too. It doesn't matter. Right? Make it whatever you like. And we will, I'm going to have a white background on this, white layer. I'm going to cut my, I'm going to use both of these because I want it to be kind of fun and funky. All right. So I'm going to do, you have to think about which one you want to be your tall layer and which one you want to go across. I usually tend to think, well, I don't know, it depends on the pattern. You can kind of see what works. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you. Karen, when you join in, you just have to type a comment. You don't have to ask to join the video because that would mean you want to go on camera with me. All right, so that's okay. You can just join in, hop on, and say hello in a comment, and it's all good. All right, so I often think the darker one should go across here so it frames the white. If your pattern has a lot of white, maybe you want that one to be your more focal point. But here I have the darker one on the tall end and then the lighter one over here because I like those little slashes to frame my sentiment. So just kind of think it out. I'm going to make this my tall one. So I'm going to go 2.5. Move my score out of the way. By 5.25. Okay, you know I'm saving that little piece. I don't throw anything away. This color and the way these brush strokes are in here, it looks so powdery. It's like a little powdery blue. It's really, really nice. So unfortunately, this isn't wide enough for the 4 to go across. So I'm going to have to cut it this way. I'll cut it to 4, then I'll cut it down to 2. Well, actually, no, I want, 4, and I want 2.5. Okay, so first I'm going to do this because it's going to give me a bigger piece left over here. I like to see how best to cut it to get so that the scraps are a little bit more usable and not so many little pieces hanging around. So this would give me a bigger piece here than if I cut the 2 first. Then I'd have some skinnier pieces, whatever. All right, so 2.5 is actually what I want. And I'm going to use the flip side. I'm going to use the polka dots on that. Okay. So look how fun and fun. So quick and easy. Put my little scraps back. I've shown you before, I keep a little cello bag of my scraps, right, like that. I put them in these folders that I get from Stampin' Storage. Everything's together. Okay, now I already cut some 2x4s. Now I'm noticing if you have a little lip on your paper, because I cut the paper like this and the blade went down, so sometimes you have a little edge there. Take your bone folder or your fingernail and just rub it out because you don't want that rough edge showing. It's kind of like you just want to flatten it out a little bit. So be aware of that. You don't want rough edges to show. Okay, I'm going to use, there's another saying, set that I love, the good feeling. And I'm just so happy for you. This is a happy card. polka dots, big stripes, and the colors. So we're going to use that. It's going to be all monochromatic. Monotone. I'm speaking music terms here. Monochromatic. So here we go. So happy for you. Going to, oop, is that going to fit on there? Let me get my bigger block. All right, here we go. Pick it up like that. Ink her up. Oh, you're jet lagged. Oh, are you back home now, Karen? I know you had an awesome trip. I can't wait to hear about it. So this is just going to fill up the whole piece. I don't have to do any other stamping. And did I do that crooked? Nope, it's good. It's good. So, oh, good gal, I'm glad. Yeah, just take the bone folder or your fingernail and rub it down. I don't like that either. It looks a little on the sloppy side. It makes such a big difference. All right, we're just going to glue it all together. I'll put that down here. See, it's on the back side here, so that's not going to matter. Going to offset that. Put this one sideways. You can always raise this piece up on dimensional dots if you want a little bit more contrast or interest to your card. Right here, I see that sticking up a little bit. Just rubbing it down. I'm going to put that on here. And on it goes. Just love boho blue. Okay. Oh, hello, Marcia. You got on. I know sometimes the time difference is an issue for you. I know Marcia's in the midst of making a couple different moves, multiple moves. So I hope you do okay, Marcia. I hope you're going to find a place that works for you. Hang in there. All right, there we go. And, of course, these in colors have coordinating on gems, in color dots, the 23, 25 in color dots. We have all the different ones. So we're going to keep that monochromatic and add the blue ones. I mean, isn't that the best with Stampin' Up? The color coordination. Oh my gosh. If you went to one of those other stores and tried to do this, wouldn't work. Okay, like we said, 3 is a good number. Put 2 on this side. 2, 3. And you're good. It's a happy card, right? Who wouldn't love that? Happy for you. And of course, you need to put a white piece on the inside. You could add a little scrap of designer series paper on there to tie in some of that pattern. Bam, quick card. Nice to spend a lot of time on a card and, you know, put your heart and soul into it. But then sometimes you just need something quick. Make a bunch of them, right? Make a whole bunch. Let's see. All right, well, I think that's fine. Where are my other papers? Oh, here we go. All right, so if I had a little extra piece here, I can just cut a strip there. Let me do that. I need it 5 1/4. Actually, I'm going to cut first here this way. I'm going to use my measurement on the right-hand side. I'm just going to cut maybe 1/2 inch. Okay, now I'll cut 5 1/4. See, now I'm not wasting this whole piece over here. Now this little piece, yeah, I'll throw that away. I'm crazy, but not crazy. Okay, just going to carry that pattern right on the inside there. Make it fun on the inside as well. White paper inside the dark card. Okay. Oh, on this, actually, right now, this is just a piece of computer paper that I just stuck in there too. It's not what I'm going to keep on the card. All right, yeah, sorry. This is just, I just folded it and left it here. I'm going to put a real piece in there, but I just wanted to, I forget why I did that, actually, but sometimes people do that so that they can write on here and then take that off. It's just on with a little tiny speck of glue there, and then it's blank for someone else to give it to somebody. All right, so there we go. There's that one. All right, just going to do one other quick one here. Let me close this up and clean it off. And I'm going to do one. I like a challenge. I'm going to do one in the wild wheat, because that color is sometimes hard to work with, and some people are like, don't like that color, not a big fan. And I get it. It's okay. But for me, I think I like a challenge, and I also would like to, I think it's a great color for a masculine card. Well, actually, a lot of these colors, these in colors, the Pebble Path is good. The Copper Clay is good for masculine cards, and we struggle with that sometimes, right? I'm just going to show you different orientation. I haven't made one like this yet, and we're going to see how it goes. Should be fine, though. Why not? So we have wild wheat, and this one I cut the long way. So we're going to have the fold on the top. This time you're going to score it at 5.5. All right, you're going to cut it 4 1/4 and score it at 5.5, and then you have that like that. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to make it this way, just to show you another idea. Okay, so this time we're doing a white card base, and I'm doing the wild wheat there, and I'm going to do the vertical piece first, and then the long one on top. So here we did the long one underneath and the short one. Whichever one is going to have my sentiment, I want that one on top, right? So we're going to just do it in the other direction here. So this is going to go across that way, and I'm going to use, oh, here it is. I'm going to use these two because I didn't want it artsy cutesy. I wanted it a little bit more masculine look to it, and I didn't want too fun, whatever. So we're going to use the ones with the lines. All right, and because this one's going to go across with my sentiment, I had to cut a little bit different size. I still kept 2 inches, but I had to make it 5 1/4 now, right, to extend all the way across the card. So I'm going to cut this piece at 2 1/2. Oh, wrong. That's my old cutter. I have a bunch of them here. And I want these lines to go vertically. I mean, you could do whatever you want. You can cut it this way too. I'm just thinking I like them vertically. So that means I'm going to cut 2 1/2 this direction first. And then 5 1/4. And this is going to be my top piece. And this one's going to go underneath. So I need to cut that one at, and you might want to think what direction you want those diagonals to go. I'm going to cut that one 2 1/2 by 4. So, or something tells me I don't, this is looking like it's going top to bottom, right to left, where, I don't know, I think I want to go this way. I'm seeing that this is going like left to right the way we read. Just my thought. I don't know, I'm going to cut at 2 1/2 and then 4. So think about the orientation that you want. This will go underneath. This will go across. So I'll put that together. I'm going to tie in some black on this one. I'm not going to keep it so monochromatic. I'm going to bring in some black to make that, bring out that more masculine feel. All right, that's going to go across there. I think I'll put it right across the middle where the other one was a little bit more offset because it's horizontal. I mean, you could put it more on the top or the bottom. I'm going to put it right across the middle this time. And that's good. Now I'm going to put this across here. Oh, sorry, hit my camera. And then I'm going to need a sentiment to go across there. So let's see what I can find. All right, I have, let's do, I'm going to use this one here, The Biggest Wish. Let's do Happy Birthday. All right, so this one is fun because you have your block letters, which again gives me that strong masculine feel, and you have some script. And these are fun because you can use them in conjunction with each other. You have all the same words in both fonts. So I'm going to do Happy in black, and we're going to do Birthday in the wheat. And then we're going to tie in some black embellishments and a couple little die cuts. Let's see how it turns out. Like I said, I haven't done this one yet, so your guess is as good as mine. You're watching me design this on the fly. I had the idea in my head, but it's all, let's see how it works out. All right. There we go. All right, so we're going to have Happy on top and Birthday down here. I'm going to experiment to see if I want Birthday full strength or stamped off a little bit so it's lighter. So I'm just going to line this up a little bit here. I'm going to take out some scrap paper. I'm going to experiment. Let's see how it goes. A lot depends on how juicy your ink pad is too. Okay, here's regular, and here's full strength. And now, don't be too horrified here, guys, that with some of these new ink colors, when I first stamped it, I was like, wow, that's really, really dark. But as it dries, it lightens up. And you might be able to see already some places in here where it's a little drier. Already it is getting lighter. Now this is a little too light, I think. So I'm going to go to the full strength and hope it all works out. Okay. And you know what? If I don't like it on here, I haven't attached it to my card yet. So never attach whatever you're stamping onto your card before stamping. You can always flip it over, do something else. I'm going to keep this over to the right because I'm going to put some die cuts over here. Let me get on the camera for you. That would help, right? Here we go. Hopefully it's straight. Keep my fingers crossed. Okay, not bad. All right, now look how dark that is. Look. I'm thinking, gee, that's way too dark. You'll see how it's going to lighten up. Look at the difference here already. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting, but it's much lighter already. I see its places are already lightening up. All right. And then we're going to do Happy in black. Okay, here's the Happy. Let's do it the right way. Memento. Okay, hello, Dolly. And who made, oh, Jackie. Jackie made it. I'm sorry, I caught the end of your comment there. I'm going to do happy up here. I'm going to have them overlap a little bit. All right, there we go. Could have been a little darker, but that's okay. I'm the one that's picky about it. It's all going to be good. Clean off my stamps. Don't want to make a mess, right? Okay, who loves the chamois for cleaning their stamps? I like it a lot better than the brush pads that we used to have. So easy. Just rinse it off in the sink, squeeze it until you see no more color, and you're good to go. All right, there we go. Put those away. And then this is what we're going to have here. And I guess if I wanted to, I could have framed some of these in black too, couldn't I? Could have done that. I wonder what it would look like if I framed this in black. Just have a little bit showing. Let me try to get some black cardstock. Okay, I'm going to cut, I want just a teeny tiny frame, and I'm going to cut, this was 5 1/4, so I'm going to add just 1/8 of an inch, so we'll have a 1/16 all the way around. All right, let's just see how that looks. I might like that little bit of framing. Oh yeah, yep. You guys like that better too? I just think it needed that extra dark stuff there. Now, because I have a bunch of layers here, I don't really need all this bulk in here. And there's enough here. It's thick enough that it's not going to show. I've showed you this trick before. Die cut or punch something out of here so that you save it for another day. So I'm going to take my lasting label, because this could be a nice background to a sentiment, like my oval, whatever. Right? And then no one's going to know except us. All right, let's stick that down. Thanks for your patience and helping me figure this out. There we go. Right on there. And then this can go on top of that. Black baker's twine would be a nice embellishment on this. I love that, just that extra little outline there. It makes all the difference in the world, right? Let me know if you agree. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Yeah, the black works. Thanks, Nadine. All right, we're going to bring that across there. And like I said, baker's twine could have looked good here. I am going to try the bow punch and just bring something over here, a couple of these little things here. So I'm going to punch a couple of those. And I know that's a flower there. You think that matters if I'm trying to make a masculine card? Maybe I'll just do two of these here. Or you know what? You don't even have to do a whole one. Sometimes just kind of squeeze it in there, and I don't need the whole stem necessarily. I can just get part of it. And stick it in there behind the other one. And, ooh, I kind of like it extending above and below, not just staying right in there. What do you think? How's that look? I like it. And then, of course, we have black matte dots to add on there. And see, I think it works. I think that wheat works very nicely. Let me put this down and we'll be ready to finish it all up. Okay, and look, this happened to work out nicely. Not that it had to be this way, but this is fitting so that I'm not seeing just pieces of this other, these other lines down here. It's kind of working out that it's good. So this one, I had almost the full circle dots up here, but these are sort of half and half, but it's okay. If you wanted to get a little OCD about it, you could have put a little split in here and then just cut off this little edge here and brought down the whole, brought this down a little bit so that you would see the whole dot. So it's up to you. But again, these are things that we think about and most other people will not. So not to worry. Let's see, do we like it? Excuse me while I just play around here a minute. This way? Or maybe this should be down, this one should be over. You can always flip these over the other way too. You can go either way. I think like that. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to put this one down first. Hold that in place. Don't put too much glue, guys. Doesn't take much. I put a dot and then I smear it. That way, when I press it down, it's not going to ooze out. So I've kind of already taken care of that spreading piece. All right, I'm going to slip that in there. Careful, don't get extra. Oh, phooey. My finger was, I'm going to try to get it right where it was before so I don't have stickiness on my card. All right, phew, did it. All right, now this one. And so take your layout and play around with it, guys. You know, just work it different ways. Turn a card around the other way. Use different papers. Use different colors. Yeah, I just want to get this here so that it covers the end of that. All right, I like that. A couple black matte dots and we're good to go. I get my pick tool, and I love that putty tip. It picks up the embellishments very easily, and then you can just stick them down. Now let's see, where do we want them? This is kind of an empty space over here. I could scatter them, put 2 in one, or I can just put 3 across the top. Well, thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. All right, what should I do? Maybe 3. All right, I'll scatter them. I'll do my 2 on one side. You make a triangle. All right, so I'll put the small one down here, a bigger one on top. All right, actually, that one is a little big for the. All right, put one up here, and a little one down over here. Okay. It's official. It's done. All done. What do you think? I'm happy with that. And like I said, it makes that a masculine card. It could go to a, doesn't have to be masculine, but if you needed something that didn't look too frilly or flowery, then you're good. Yeah, always put, you like the 2 in one, Marjorie? Thanks. Okay, I think I like that too. And because you have straight stuff here, if you did the 3, maybe it would look too many things lined up. So the random, I like the random. All right, so I'm pleased with that. Don't, like I said, you can fold your card other directions too. So let me do just a little layout of everything and all the options here. I have a lot to clean up today between the cards for troops and getting ready here. So here are all the different designs. All right, so these 2 are more alike. This one, these 2 are kind of more alike, right? I'll try to get them all in the camera here. And we have that. So there we go. And so I hope you like that. Hope you try it. I like to show you the versatility, and I agree with Maria. It's so easy and fun to do, and you can elaborate on it many ways. Make it a little bit more intricate, or keep it real simple. Alrighty. Yeah, right, Nadine? I know. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't typically like it on its own, but combine it with something, add the black, use it as an accent color, or balance it out with other things, and it works. Okay, you can even work with some of the other colors that I'm going to play around with. So enjoy. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and I will be back in touch soon. Remember, we have a few things going on. My paper share is done. I am going to look back and see. I might have room for another few, but I'm just going to take my inventory and see what's going on there. But so we have the paper share going on. We have bingo coming up on June 26th. All right, from 8 to 10 Eastern time, and you can sign up for bingo until the until, what did I say? The 25th, I think. So, yeah, you can sign up for that. It's $39. You get a kit to make 4 different cards, plus the PDF tutorials, plus about $15 worth of product, plus opportunity to win gift certificates and other great prizes towards Stampin' Up! Products. All right? So check it out on my blog, stampwithrain.com, and we'll hope to see you soon. All right? Thanks, everybody. Bye. Thank you, Patty. Thanks, Tina. All right. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.